Deputy Seán Kyne for question number 12.
Minister, the question relates to the order in which locations will be selected for works under the National Broadband Plan, and in view of areas such as those covered by the Knockferry Exchange in County Galway, for example, which was excluded in the previous National Broadband scheme.
Thank you. Minister number 12.
The National Broadband Plan aims to ensure that every citizen and business, regardless of location, has access to a high-quality, high-speed broadband service, to be achieved through a combination of commercial investments and a state-led intervention in areas where commercial services will not be provided. And in the commercial telecommunications sector is currently investing approximately $2.5 billion in network upgrades and enhanced services, with approximately 1.6 million of the 2.3 million premises in Ireland expected to have access to commercial high-speed broadband services over the next 2 years. Last November, I published a national high-speed coverage map for 2016. That map is available. The areas marked blue represent areas of access through the commercial sector. The amber areas show the target areas for the state intervention and include Knockferry and the townland of Knock North. Members of the public should consult and can consult the map to establish for themselves the precise location and status of their individual premises. Intensive design and planning work is underway in my department to produce a detailed intervention strategy for the amber area, which, as I said, includes the particular location referred to by the Deputy. Following a public consultation process on the draft intervention strategy this summer, I hope to move to formal procurement phase towards the end of this year in order to select a preferred bidder or bidders. The order by which locations throughout the country will be selected for delivery of service will be determined in consultation with the winning bidder or bidders. I anticipate that the first homes and businesses will be connected in 2016, and connections will continue thereafter, with the intention of having all premises connected within a 5-year period. Ultimately, every premises in Ireland will have access to reliable, high-speed broadband as a consequence of this initiative. This complex and ambitious project is a key priority for me and for the Government, in aiming to conclusively address current broadband connectivity issues in mainly rural parts of the country.
Deputy Seán Kyne.
Thank you, Minister. Thank you for your reply. I think it goes without saying that the deficiencies in rural broadband is impacting on jobs and impeding the regional recovery and depriving consumers getting the best value in relation to broadband. And I commend the government and yourself in relation to the plans that we have to roll out broadband and to go to Tinder by the end of the year. It's certainly a very important programme and a very ambitious programme. And previous broadband plans look good on paper. There was a nice glossy maps, but they didn't deliver to the many areas. And areas near me, which aren't far from Galway City, 7 or 8 miles, places like Tullykyne and Knockferry, Calnamuck, and those areas, which are as deserving of broadband as anywhere else. Can I ask, have you received the state aid permission from the EU, or when is that likely? Do you envisage that may be a stumbling block, or do you think it's something that is a formality?
Well, there are 2 phases in relation to the application for state aid. One is the pre-notification process and the other is the formal notification process. We're currently in the pre-notification process, and I would expect to get to the formal notification process by Q4, and we can do that in parallel with all the other work we're doing in relation to moving to the tender and the procurement, the culmination of the procurement process in terms of finding a bidder or bidders. The importance of the pre-notification process in relation to state aids is that you can do a huge amount of preparatory work to ensure that when you make the formal application, that a great deal of the questions that might arise from the Commission have already been addressed or substantially addressed. So my department are working very closely on this. The state aids application is only one aspect of it, because we've got to work out, and it touches on the Deputy's question, we've got to work out, for example, issues to do with the likely governance arrangements in respect of the successful bidder. The ownership model that we put in place, will the bidder own the network? The funding issues obviously are very live at the moment, the question of funding and planning in respect of that. All of the technical questions, the regulatory questions, are all being dealt with in parallel by teams of advisors working to my team, my National Broadband Plan team within the department. There's an enormous amount of work going on, but by late summer, we should be reaching the formal notification process for state aid application, and that should, I would hope, there are different experiences of different countries, but I would hope that then could be expedited quite quickly.
Thank you. Deputy Kyne.
Thank you, Minister, for that. Are you confident that there will be no delay in the tendering by the end of the year? And do you envisage, or do you have any preference for what areas are chosen first? Would there be the areas that would have the highest population, or the areas closest to urban centres, or how would you see that?
Thank you, Minister.
Well, we can't, unfortunately, come to a conclusion with regard to the order at the moment. That's something that we would have to settle with the successful bidder or bidders. So that's not something that we can do in advance. But I am confident, as I said to Deputy Moynihan earlier on, I publish every month, and I'll be publishing the May report at the end of this week or early next week. I'm able to show each month what we've done in the previous month and what we plan to do in the coming period. So we set our timetable and timelines back in November, December when we published the map, and I have no reason to believe at this stage that there has been any slippage in the plan and intention of going to procurement by the end of this year.
Thank you.